what an unbelievable win for our program today. I can't say enough about the atmosphere in Five Star Stadium, and just so appreciative of our student section, our fans, all the faculty that showed up and showed out, and really the folks in Macon to make that, we could really feel that. And, I couldn't be more proud of the way that our kids played. We came out, and I didn't think we started slow. I just kind of thought Western played well. They went up 14 points on us, and I give our kids a ton of credit. There was no panic, and they just went play by play, and we started executing at a much higher level. Going into the game, we kind of know that they're going to get they're going to get their yards on offense. It's more about getting stops or holding them to field goals, and I thought we did a decent job of that, especially in the second half. And then, just really impressed with the game plan that Anthony Soto put together, the execution. I was really on and hard on the offensive line last week, and for those guys to come up, I think we only gave up 2 sacks today, but we rushed the ball for over 300 yards on the day. I think it was 42 rushes for 314 yards, and some big runs to finish that game off in the last really 4 minutes of it. And I think that says a lot about the character of our program. I'm really proud of them, right? Like that's the 3rd win over a top 25 team this season. And I just think it speaks to the character and the resolve of our team. So, anytime you get a ranked win at home, it's a big one.
A lot of big plays in this game. You guys scored 27 unanswered at one point. What would you call the turning point of the game when you kind of felt like things kind of started to shift for you guys?
Yeah, I thought when Dewey, about a 65-yard run for a touchdown, I thought when he broke that open, it was like, all right. And then, I think, Keelan Parsons had, I think he had 4 big catches today. He had over 100 yards receiving. I thought our ability to put a touchdown up there right before halftime and get it to 24-21 going into half, I thought that was critical for momentum, right, knowing that we were getting the ball coming out of half. So kind of the big run by Dwayne, the touchdown right before half, and then coming out, and I think we got a stop on the first series, and I think we at least got either a field goal or a touchdown. I don't recall coming out of halftime there, but all that stuff led to kind of the momentum.
Very physical game, 11 penalties for Western Carolina. Targeting call, how do you keep your guys level-headed in that kind of moment when these guys are going to be physical?
We talk, right? Early in the year, we were one of the most penalized team in the country, and we continue to knock it in half. I think we had 5 today, and when people start to press, like you could almost sense it in their players, and you just have to talk to our kids. We came back from 14 down. We were up at 10 by 1 point, and you can't lose your composure. Like that says you're a mature football team, and you can't make a selfish play that gives them an advantage in a really close game. So I give our kids a lot of credit.
Let's talk about the adversity for the second straight week and a much different result this time. Talk about your halftime speech, maybe, and what you said to them. I mean, you're starting to come back. You pulled within 3, but you faced adversity for the second straight week, and you guys continue to fight back.
Again, we really challenged our kids. Last week we came out and we didn't play well. I thought we weren't ready to play, where this week I didn't think it was a readiness thing. They made a couple great plays, and that's going to happen when you play against a good football team that has I think that wide receiving core is probably arguably one of the fastest in the country just from a straight speed standpoint. And, again, the quarterback's a tremendous football player. So, there's no magic talk at halftime. It was, hey, we got the momentum. We better be prepared to win this football game. And we came right out. And again, I can't say enough about the way we played, about the way we finished the game. All of it just had a huge impact on the win today.
We've talked a lot about running back for the whole season, how great it is to have so many guys. But tonight, Dwayne was the star. So tell me about his performance. How big is that for you?
He had the big long momentum run, which was huge for us. I thought you want to talk just about a character run when we're in a 4-minute situation trying to run the clock out and add points, right? They had cut it to 3 points at that point, and they kind of run stuffed it up. We had gotten about 3 yards, and between the linemen and Dwayne just continuing to churn his feet, we ended up with a 14 or 15-yard gain on that play, and I just thought that was, that spoke very loudly on who we were going to be for the rest of the game. And then you saw C.J. Miller come in, and he's a load, and he broke some tackles and put one in the end zone there to really put the game away.
Then your freshman quarterback, Whit Dubauer, first start of the season. How do you think he fared in a game like this with so much on the line?
I thought Whit did well. First thing it is we don't want game managers. We want guys to make plays. Again, we had a little bit of time right there before half. He came right out, hit the big long pass to Keelan Parsons. We have a bunch of faith in him. He protected the football. I don't think he had a takeaway today. I don't think he threw a pick, and there was no fumbles. And so, really, really impressed with his composure. I was impressed all week with how he prepared, knowing he was going to be the starter. Last couple times he's just kind of been thrown in there. But his preparation was on point, and really, really strong outing for a freshman in a big game.
If you look at Whit's numbers today, average per completion, 23.4 yards per completion, pretty solid.
Yeah. I think just his ability, we've talked, his ability to push the ball down the field, right? He's got great arm strength, and he does a good job reading things pretty quickly and getting the ball out. And he gave our wide receivers a couple chances, and then we had a couple wide receivers make some huge plays. We talked about Keelan on the one big one before half, coming out of half. Braden Smith had a huge play on a contested ball. I thought it was a brilliant catch. And so when you have your wideouts making plays for you like that, and you're putting in where they can get it, again, you're bound to be successful.
Talk about your defense over there today. Obviously, you had a pass rush going on today. It made Cole uncomfortable at times. But talk about how big that played into the
Again, you don't want to concede that you're going to give up plays, but when they have the caliber of skill players they have, and they have a quarterback like him, you know they're going to make some plays. We talk about in our program the most important plays. The next one, I thought we did a pretty good job getting pressure on them today. There's a couple technical things that we need to clean up. There's a few too many big plays, right? And I thought we missed a few tackles early, but I thought our defense responded. I thought, I talked a lot to him. I thought conditioning was going to be a factor. Right here we are at the end of October for us Northerners. I'm an Ohio guy, and it was pushing 90 degrees today, so really thought conditioning was going to be a factor. And the fact that we play 8-9 defensive linemen and just keep rolling them out, I thought by the end of the game, I thought our conditioning was plus, and I thought those guys did a good job finishing the game for us when we needed it most.
That's the last thing. I mean, Reese Griffith today, 3 for 3 on field goals, so pretty clutch, and he played in the finals a little long.
Yeah, huge points, man. I screwed up there. We had it on 4th down. We tried to freeze them. I was going back and forth on what I was going to do on the headset. I missed calling the timeout. That's on me. Put him back 5 yards, and he drilled the kick to put us up by 6. Anytime you can be as consistent as you can with that kid, he was big for us today. Those are 9 big points.
And one thing I've got, obviously, DJ Smith not in the jersey, on the white shirt. Any update on his injury and his return?
Yeah, still day to day. Not to be flippant or smart with you. He's progressing well, but it'll be day to day at this point.
You were hitting on, I told you I had the last one, but the gauntlet that is the SoCon.
Sure.
2-game homestand now, and it's probably your 2 biggest games of the year with East Tennessee State coming in next week.
Yeah, probably going to be another beautiful day here in Middle Georgia against another ranked team, a well-coached team. I got a lot of respect for Coach Lamb and what he's been able to do there at ETSU. But yeah, I mean, again, we came here to play in important games late in the season, and that's what we want. We want to have the conference on the line, and we want to be able to do it in front of our fans at home. So we need everybody there. We need them to be loud. Again, tremendous support from our community today and our fan base, and really felt it had an impact on the game.
This will be backtracking just a tad, but we talked about the 23 yards per completion. See, we got all those yards in you when you had less than 20 carries, I think. It was just so explosive today, and you guys have had great offense in the past, but it's not always been those huge chunk plays. So is there anything that goes into that? What do you think changed today? I mean, do you as a coach try to have more explosive plays, or what's the mindset?
Yeah, I mean, the design is to be efficient, right? And that means different things, whether it's run or pass. And based on what we're doing, again, I thought the game plan by Coach Soto was really well put together. And our offensive staff, I thought that it was really well executed by our kids. And again, we were able we were able to stay on schedule, meaning we were productive on first and second down this week, running the football or with short passes where we weren't last week, and that really impacted our lack of success. Where this week we were on schedule, and you keep the sticks moving, you keep the momentum going, you're allowed to play fast, and I thought that was critical to our victory today.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you all. Yep. Beat up.
Ready to start off. Talk about how your defense played today, how big of a win this is for this program.
Of course, good win. But I think as a defense, I don't think this was our best game. The first half we came out a little, I don't want to say slow, but we came out in a way that they were playing harder than us. And I feel like we fought. We was able to hold them three a few times. I don't think we had any takeaways today, though, so that's not like our defense. But I think overall we played a decent day. Got to get better next week.
Usually it's the secondary that gets a lot of praise, but up front you had a great game. 9 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2.5 TFL. You know, how are you feeling just being able to make a big impact in the game?
Oh man, I'm blessed. I think if you go and watch the second quarter, the stats look good, but I don't think this was my best game. I was getting held up a lot, man, and I think I can come back harder next week. I think I was just getting a lot of effort plays. I mean, I ain't gonna be denied, never denied, delayed but never denied. So I think I could come out harder next week, man. It was a great game for me. A lot of things went my way. Told Coach Long put me on 75, man, and it was over with from there.
2.5 sacks, man. How's it feel?
Of course, man. It feels great anytime you get things to go your way. I feel like this wasn't my best pass rushing day, but I feel like I did pretty good.
You talk about no takeaways for the defense. Again, you talked about it. You also had a great game, especially you and Nash, pressure up front. But you guys have carried the team in a certain way all year. How does it feel for the offense to also explode second quarter?
Oh, man. I love it. Any day you could rush for 300, man, it was a great day. So, I mean, we got into a little bit of a shootout. It was a little bit of a high-scoring game. So, I think the offense I don't want to say stepped up, but I think they took the lead, man, and they brought the energy all game.
What do you think after last week's game? You think people sort of started counting Mercer out a little bit? Hey, they haven't played anybody, and you come into this game and you guys feel you had something to prove today?
Anytime you're undefeated and you lose to a team you're not technically supposed to lose to, I mean, people going to say what everybody got an opinion, man. So that's what I'm going to leave that there.
Physical game on both sides. Western Carolina, 11 penalties. They have the targeting penalty. You talked about your coach, but what kind of keeps you motivated in a game like that to just keep your cool, keep your composure, and keep everybody locked in?
We all feeding off each other. I think for me personally, man, I got guys on my D-line room. They play DN with me, but they're not getting as much reps. So I think a guy like Carson Griffin, man, I think he keep lifting me up on the sideline. Even though I'm taking most of the snaps, having that support from Carson Griffin is unreal, man. And Zach being able to go to the other side when Coach put me on 75, I think that's what that credits all these stats. Just being able to be put in positions for me to win.
Last thing for me is another big game at home next week. Probably going to be a ranked matchup because they won this week too. So defense has been so great all year. What do you guys do going into that game? How fired up are you as a unit for that?
Oh man, I think we're gonna go have some real good fun after this. So I mean, pretty turned up, man. It's a great day for us. Go have some fun.
223 yards today. I mean, you keep talking about that. You talk about the biggest difference between D2 and FCS or D2 and D1. I mean, you kept your legs moving today. Talk about your game and how proud you are coming out of a game like that.
Coming off that loss, we seen we weren't aggressive at all. Like, we didn't play to our advantage. Like, we knew that we're a very aggressive team, and Coach Jacobs been always telling us to be aggressive, and we weren't. So all week this week, we practiced in full pads, and we got after it. And, like, we had to prove to ourselves that, like, we can be them guys on the field. So today, all I was thinking after we had to face adversity, I went to the O-line and said, like, just unhooked the trailer, like, let's go. And it's time to go. And then big things started to happen.
You talked in the press conference that, hey, CJ's averaging over 4 yards a carry, you're averaging over 4 yards a carry, you had over 12 yards a carry today. What did you see different today? What was different? Was your O-line different? Did you just see the holes a little bit better today?
It was a confidence thing. Like, last week we really shot ourselves in the foot, and like that taste, it just didn't feel real. We didn't appreciate it. So like we had to really get into ourselves. Like, it's gonna be a downhill physical game. And we proved that we can do that, facing adversity, and like we just felt as if everybody just lost faith in us. We had to show the world that we were here.
You talked about the turning point with the coach just a few minutes ago. You talked about your big run at halftime. What was kind of going through your head after that? Just how it changed?
Put the game away, honestly. All I knew was to put the game away. It's time to make big plays. Like, my mom always taught me to be my toughest critic. So, like, I wasn't satisfied with how I played in the first half. Like, there was a few mental errors, and it just didn't sit right with me. So, halftime, Coach Jones, we came up in here, we got on the film, and we seen some loopholes in their defense, and all you had to do was attack it. And dogs make plays, and it just happened to be a dog at that time.
Talk about mental miscues in the first half. You still had 100 yards in the first half. I mean, not anybody's done that in 10 years or something. So, I mean, and especially, I think it was when y'all were down 24-7. You ripped one off for like 60 odd, to cut into the lead. So, how big is it to be consistent like that? Just have so many explosive plays in one day.
Well, I said honestly, it wasn't like our first time being here. Being with Coach Jacobs, I always trusted their process and their program. And Soto was coming out for halftime, and he's like, "What you want to run?" And I'm like, "I really think 11's going to be open. Like, if I press the point how I'm supposed to, I'm like, I know I can beat the safety." And it worked just exactly how we said it. It was kind of crazy because right before the ball hike, I told Whit, "Hey, I'm gonna see you in the end zone." He started laughing. He's like, "What you mean?" I said, "I'm gonna see you in the end zone." Next thing you know, when I scored, I stopped back in. I said, "I told you I'd see you in the end zone." So that was crazy.
Did we talk about the big game next week? I mean, obviously, you guys still got that target on your back because now you're coming back in the conference league again. How big is it? These two games are probably your two biggest games of the season. Talk about East Tennessee State coming in next week.
East Tennessee State actually is a very good team. We have some old teammates from Lenore Ryan over there, and we stay intact. And like, they're a very good team. They're very physical and stuff. All we're gonna do is play our game. We keep playing our game. We feel like we can compete with everyone in the country. So long as we just play hard, physical, downhill, and it probably looked like a good win to everyone else, which it was, and we're never going to complain about a win. But there's still a lot to fix, and we're not satisfied. And I don't know what to say about ETSU, but we're coming.
Now stay in touch. Is there any smack talk going around? You guys
No, I'm more so be on the video game. The new NCAA and 2K come out, so we'll be playing the game, talking and stuff. But every now and then it's like, oh, if I score him, I'm gonna do that too on Saturday. So you slide it in there every now and then.
You talked a little bit about the last drive, how like the one run in the pile was awesome. Your offensive line pushing you, but then how sweet was it to see CJ come?
I was so excited because once we got them 2 first down, I'm like, all right, game's over. Huge shout out to the O-line, by the way. They carried me. It was one play. I don't know how I kept moving. Xavier Jennings literally picked me up and took me for 11 yards. So that probably count on my stat sheet, but we should give it to him. But hey, I'm going to take it. But it was actually pretty good. Like, after I came out, I looked at CJ. I said, just hold the ball and keep going. The first time, he got tackled on a fluke tackle by his shirt. The second time, he made it happen. So huge shout out to CJ right there.
How good is it to have Xavier back in the lineup?
Like a fresh cup of water on a hot day. Like, it felt really good to have him out there. Like, he felt comfortable, and I'm so used to playing with him. I've been playing with him for the last 4 years. So like, me, him, and Keelan Parsons, we got this little ritual. We always walk up to each other and talk and do our little handshakes and stuff. So the whole game, he just kept saying, even when we were down, I got you. Like, I'm gonna make sure you're okay. I got you. And that just made me more comfortable. With me being comfortable, everything just worked out.
Speaking of Keelan Parsons and your teammates played with for 4 years, another big game from him today. I asked him on Monday about. He said it was kind of bittersweet last week, but he made some big catches today, went over 100 yards again.
That guy is a dog. Like him, he's really like that. He deserves to be here. He deserves everything that happened. I'm super proud of him. I can't wait to after this. I'm gonna go pour water all over him. Like, he had a great game. He had 8 targets, 102. Wow. Yeah, that was a game. So, yeah.
Straight 100-yard game for him.
Yeah. As long as we keep going, I feel like we're gonna make something happen.
All I got.
Good.